Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushaq, choose what really matters.
France and America are friends again. After the rift over AUKUS, both sides have decided to move ahead and open the process of what they call in-depth consultation. The question is, who blinked first? Let's try to find out. It all began with a phone call. On Wednesday evening, US President Joe Biden held a 30-minute-long phone conversation with Emmanuel Macron, a call in which the American media says Biden acknowledged missteps in how America approached talks. A realization better late than never, we say. What did this realization sound like? Let's look at the White House press release. This is what it says, that Biden reaffirmed the strategic importance of French and European engagement, that he recognized the importance of a stronger and more capable European defense, and agreed that the situation would have benefited from open consultations among allies. These are some significant remarks, especially when you consider the fact that they come from a superpower which almost always deals from a position of strength, a country which is used to dictating terms to others. Not to the French, it seems. The White House even made a point of releasing Biden's photograph. It shows him smiling during his phone call with President Macron of France. The Post reads that he's looking forward to meeting him in October. Did Biden apologize, though? The White House press secretary was asked this question twice. She sidestepped it both times.
Thank you. Going back to the phone call this morning briefly with the French president, did President Biden apologize to Emmanuel Macron?
He acknowledged that there could have been greater consultation. And the call, again, as I stated earlier, was a friendly call, and there was agreement that we wanted to move forward in our relationship.
So did the president apologize to his French friend?
There could have been greater consultation, but again, this call was really focused on the path forward and returning back to normal and the important work we have to do with the French ahead.
What did France have to say about the phone call? Well, not very much at the moment, except the fact that it has agreed to send its ambassador back to Washington, D.C. Last week, France had recalled its ambassador to the U.S. and Australia. This was in protest of the AUKUS deal, which the French described as a stab in the back. Now, with those scars apparently healing, the ambassador to Washington, D.C. will return, but there's no word on whether the ambassador to Canberra will head back too. The Australian Prime Minister says he's not expecting ties to improve anytime soon. Why is that? Because Emmanuel Macron is not taking his call. At the same time, Scott Morrison also said that he will not apologize for the AUKUS deal because he only upheld Australia's national interest, Australia's security interests. Watch this.
Yes, we have, and the opportunity for that call is not yet. But we'll be patient. We understand their disappointment, and that is the way you manage difficult issues. It's a difficult decision. It's a very difficult decision. And of course we had to weigh up what would be the obvious disappointment to France. But at the end of the day, as a government, we have to do what is right for Australia and serve Australia's national security interests. And I will always choose Australia's national security interests first.
What about the third partner in the AUKUS deal, the United Kingdom? How did they respond to this French fury? With classic British condescension. The British Prime Minister, who is known for his rather brash quibs, has told France to get a grip on itself and give him a break. As if to add insult to injury, he made both these remarks in French. You must listen to what he said.
I just think it's time for some of our dearest friends around the world to, prenez un grip about all this, and donnez-moi un break, because this is fundamentally a great step forward for global security. It's three very like-minded allies standing shoulder to shoulder, creating a new partnership for the sharing of technology.
It's unbelievable that Boris Johnson was once Britain's foreign secretary. Mocking your allies after you've tricked them might just be a new low in diplomacy, and we haven't even told you how the British media is reporting this tussle. It's adding fuel to the fire. On Wednesday, The Telegraph, which is a British daily, put out this report. It said that France is willing to give up its permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council to the European Union. Why would France do such a thing? In exchange, apparently, for support from EU member nations for an EU military, a European military, something that the UK is strictly against. This is what the report claimed. France has flatly denied this. In a swift response, the French government has said that the United Nations Security Council seat is theirs, and it will remain that way. Only that it fell short of, the only thing they fell short of saying is that the British press needs to get a grip on themselves. Meanwhile, the American media was subjected to a different sort of embarrassment, something they're not used to. They were inside the Oval Office covering the president's bilateral with the British Prime Minister. To Biden's surprise, Boris Johnson decided to open the floor to questions. He took at least 2 questions from British reporters. He was mid-sentence on one answer when he was interrupted by the White House staff. They began to shepherd the reporters out even before they could ask any questions to Joe Biden, the US president. It was an extremely bizarre event to watch. This happened just a few blocks from where I'm sitting right now.
I think nobody wants to see anything that interrupts or unbalances the Belfast Good Friday Accords. That's the Belfast Good Friday Agreement. That's the. I think that's
Let's go. Thank you. What did he say?
I have no idea. I hope the microphone got it. No.
That's absurd. 2 British reporters get questions and we don't get any.
So why were these reporters ushered out? What did Joe Biden fear? Well, we don't know. The American media won't discuss it. What we can tell you is that the Joe Biden presidency is getting weirder each day. It is failing on every promise it made. The Wuhan virus is spreading once again in the country. Migrants are being whipped at the border. Afghan women have been abandoned to their fate. Allies are being deserted for new deals. And now reporters are being stopped from asking questions. America is truly back. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushaq, choose what really matters.